We can't help what's ingested. We can't help what we hear via conversations, in books, commercials, things of that nature. If somebody says something really fucked up, like go kill someone for no reason, you heard that, you took it in. You can do nothing about that. Even hearing me just now say that, you're probably thinking about, damn, you said go kill somebody. But if you actually go out and do it, that's what's fucked up. Is what's coming out of you. You couldn't help but to take that in and hear that right now because you're listening to this. But when you act on whatever thought that it is from the inside, it's coming from the inside and it's going out, and you actually go do something foul to someone, or you go rob, steal, kill, whatever the case may be, because you initially heard it. I feel like it's what you're doing is what's foul. What comes out of you, what's coming from that person's spirit, what's in their heart. Is it evil or is it good? That I feel like that's what matters when it comes out of people. And your true intentions will show that. You see evil people, or you see people do evil things all the time, or say evil things in that moment. Does that even necessarily make them an evil person? They're having a moment. I don't know. What I'm taking from this is to never give up. You never really give up on something that you want or need. You keep going until you get what you want. Was Jesus testing her? He was there on a mission, and the blessing wasn't for her. It was for someone else. She understood that even a crumb of a blessing is more than enough to help her. How powerful is that? Piggybacking on the mustard seed parable, that when you have just a piece of faith, just the smallest piece of faith, a crumb, or a mustard seed, it can move mountains. She understood this and knew that. So Jesus blessed her. He got really excited about it seemed like too. A cup running over type of blessing. When your cup is full and overflowing, you can bless people with the overflow. And to be so blessed that crumbs will bless you. Imagine having a whole loaf of bread, but to have a crumb and it blesses your life and changes your life, you don't even need the whole piece. That's pretty awesome. So you claim to know nature and you believe that to be true. But when a sign from God slaps you right in the face, you don't know how to discern it. You have the power to predict the weather, but you don't have the power to see signs from God. Get out of my face, you hypocrites. Don't demand anything from me. Demand from yourself like you've been doing. If you can show yourself that you believe that you predicted the weather correctly, then what signs do you need from me specifically? You're already doing it yourself. This is relatable to me via social media. Stop going on social media about your issues with people and companies and things of that nature. Stop blasting companies on social media first. Did you try to go to the manager? Did you try to let them know that they fucked up and allow them to try to rectify the situation first before you blasted them negatively? If that didn't work, did you try to go to corporate? If that didn't work, then maybe social media should be the last resort, but not the first. Stop being so quick to clout chase everything. People make mistakes. You make mistakes. Would you want to lose your business via bad press online because of what somebody said? It's just something to think about and consider when you're doing things like that. What is your intent? Stop being so quick to blast people for mistakes that they've made. And stop being so quick to want to be popular and get your 15 minutes of fame by blasting your experience online. When you have been wronged in business, when that transgression is forgiven on earth, I'm assuming that blessings will be released from the heavens. But if you hold on and be bitter towards people or businesses, you're binding blessings from heaven because you're just so angry about what happened to you. Nothing else can get in. I tend to go the route of forgiveness. Shit happens. I may or may not be able to get anything from this, but whatever. This is not a life-threatening thing. So forgive, let go, and move on. But overall, give people a chance to make things right with you. But sometimes you don't get that. Sometimes people don't want to make things right. But at least you know that you presented an opportunity, a positive opportunity for someone to rectify it. Forgiveness is something that has to be practiced. Forgiveness has to be something that you have to be intentional with. Easier said than done sometimes. It's funny how quickly people will forget when they were blessed in a situation, how dare you not give that same grace and patience to somebody else that you were given by somebody else? You borrowed money from somebody, you couldn't pay it back on time, or you couldn't pay it back at all. They forgive you, right? And then you let somebody borrow some money and they can't pay you back on time or can't pay you back at all. And you want to beat them up, curse them out, throw them under the jail, go on social media, blast them, all that stuff. How quickly you forgot that you were in the same position and you were given grace and mercy by that person. And now you don't want to give that same energy back. You're a hypocrite. Part of the golden rule: do unto others as you want done to you. And it seems that part of that rule or that saying is that when it happens back to you, give back what you received freely. Give that same energy back. But only you know that, because I don't know that you got blessed in a situation to where you were in my same shoes and you were given what you were given. You had to be honest with yourself. I like that Jesus asked him, why do you call me good? It's almost like, you don't know me, dude. That's where I took it initially. The only thing that is good is God, and whatever that means to you. And it also seemed like that the only thing that this man lacked was faith. He had material possessions, and he was attached to them. He didn't have the faith to give it all up for something potentially better. Maybe we need to lose attachment to worldly things. Maybe we need to get attached to spiritual things. But there obviously needs to be a balance, because material things exist and they are needed, and whatever that means to you. He didn't have the faith to let go of what he had and rely on God for what he needed. But some things you just have to see for yourself. This made me think about the purity of children. It's also a psalm reference, and children are the purest form of love before they are corrupted by people and their surroundings. Children usually tell the truth most of the time. They don't have all the guilt and judgments of the world. Sometimes I would rather get insight from children, talking to them, listening to them. Speak boldly, ask boldly, believe boldly. Do your best to not doubt at all. Speak and believe from your gut, that true knowing, and only you know what that means to yourself. Stand on that. Live in that. The kingdom of heaven has everything you want and need. You don't have to do much to have it. It is given to you freely. It's there. It's yours. And people are even sent out to you to bring it to you personally. You didn't even have to seek it, but you rejected it multiple times. What you wanted, you rejected. So the blessing just went out to other people. It's not biased. You were chosen, you didn't want it, the blessing just kept it moving. Let's say, for example, you were invited to an all-white party. The only rule you have to follow is the dress code, which is all white. But you come to this party in red. You're standing out and breaking the rules for whatever reasons. You're going to get kicked out. God called you to greatness, and you still couldn't abide by a simple rule. You knew it was an all-white party, so why are you in here with red? And don't be shocked for getting kicked out of this party either. I had to stop allowing people to tell me, this is God, this is not God, this is the path to God, this is the way to God, and things of that nature. God will come to you. If you believe in a higher power, allow the higher power to do the work, not men. They can help also. Some people mean well, some people don't, and it's up to you to decipher the difference. It is said that the right side of the brain is creativity. So I will put wisdom, imagination, intuition, divine thinking. That's that side of the brain. And then the left side of the brain is logic, linear thinking, analytical thinking, being one-track minded, facts, logic, things like that. Things that can keep us stuck in our ways. So when I saw that the right side strikes lightning to the left side, I took that as the right side being the more free-minded side of the brain, the creative part of the brain, strikes over to the left. It strikes over to the analytical, one-track mindedness. And in that formation, you have that aha moment. It comes from the right to the left. It's just a thought. I had to learn to never say never. Don't make guarantees to people. Deep, deep promises. You may change your mind, or the situation will change and you have to adjust. You'll never know until you know. We can't predict every single thing that's in the future. So be mindful of making promises to anyone, even to yourself, because you may be put into a situation to where you change your mind. I'll never do that. I'll never do this. We don't know that. So try to be open. Stop trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho to everybody. You don't have to save everybody. Sometimes you get in the way of other people's blessings or lessons that they need to learn by always coming to someone's aid. I also like when Jesus basically told him, do you think that I cannot pray all of this away right now and just stop this? I'm going through with what I have to do. Mind your business. So something I learned is sometimes you just have to sit on the sidelines when people go through certain things. How else will they learn if you're constantly saving them? And sometimes you being on the outside, you're looking at it from a perspective of danger, but the person that's actually in it is not feeling any danger at all. Easier said than done.